Hello everybody! Thank you for joining us today as we read stories from this wonderful book called A Treasury to Read with Mummy. We'd like to say hi to all of our wonderful friends, all the little boys and girls around the world for joining us today. Let's get started. Why Owls Stare. Once upon a time there lived an owl and a pigeon. They were friends, but they were great rivals too. And they were always boasting to one another. Owls have much better eyesight than pigeons, the owl would claim. Pigeons are much better at flying, the pigeon would reply. Owls have better hearing, the owl bragged. Pigeons have prettier feathers, the pigeon would argue. One morning, they were sitting side by side on a branch when the owl said, I think there are many more owls than pigeons. That can't be right, replied the pigeon. There are definitely far more pigeons than owls. There's only one way to find out. I challenge you to count them. All right, the owl agreed. We will need a place with plenty of trees. Let's do it in the big woods a week from today. During that week, the owl and the pigeon flew in every direction to tell their fellow birds to come to the big woods to be counted. The day of the count came, and the owls were the first to arrive. It seemed as if every tree was full of owls hooting at each other. There were so many, the owls were sure they would outnumber the pigeons. Suddenly, the sky went dark. Clouds of pigeons were flying towards the big woods. They came from the north, the south, the east, and the west. Soon, there were no space left in the trees, and branches were starting to break under the weight of all the pigeons. More and more pigeons came, circling around the woods, looking for a place to land. By now, the ground was completely covered with pigeons too. The owls were wide-eyed with amazement at all the pigeons who were still arriving by their thousands. The noise of their wings were deafening, and the owls were getting squashed and trampled by the ones who had managed to find a perch in the trees. Let's get out of here, the owls hooted to one another, flying away. But the poor creatures had stared so long and hard at the pigeons that their eyes stayed stuck wide open. And from that day on, owls always stared and hid during the day when the pigeons were nearby, flying only at night. The end. That That was a wonderful story. I hope you enjoyed it, boys and girls. Now please remember to go back into your books and take a look at all the wonderful drawings. We'd like to say goodbye to all of our wonderful friends, all the little boys and girls around the world. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.